Minnesota full of interesting people. Sometimes they become icons of their chosen fields.
And today, with trivia of some of Minnesota's famous people, we have producer Betsy Moline. She's joining us now.
Hello, hello.
So we're putting aside our county trivia
to talk famous people. And I would like to start an official campaign for a Trivia Tuesday shirt. We have a Water Tower Wednesday shirt. We need a Trivia Tuesday shirt.
I believe you could probably make that happen.
I'm putting it out in the universe.
Do you feel neglected?
I do, you guys. I put together a lot of stuff for these. And I had so much fun putting this one together, you guys, because it's all about celebrities, and I just learned so many fun facts about people that I knew already but didn't know so much about.
Yeah.
Like Prince. Prince is an artist who needs no introduction, but for the uninitiated, nominated for 38 Grammys, he won 7. He won an Oscar for the original score for Purple Rain. He had 5 #1 songs throughout his career. On his first album, For You, he played all of the instruments and produced the music himself. He performed at the Super Bowl famously, and fun fact, in 1984, he simultaneously held the #1 album, the #1 single, and the #1 movie in America. But my question for you guys is, when he was just a little boy, what is the name of the first song he ever wrote? Okay, so imagine a young boy writing a song. Does he want to call it Let's Have Fun, Funk Machine, Lose It, Prince Rogers, and the Trio?
Wasn't Funk Machine your nickname in college, Ken?
It was. I was very funky in college. Look what happened to me.
A little kid.
You're wearing purple today.
I'm wearing purple for Prince today, yes.
Noticed.
I'm going to go Lose It.
I'm going to go D.
You guys, you almost had it. It was Funk Machine.
Oh, no.
He was Funk
I thought that was
Machine,
too
yes.
good to be
From the
true.
very beginning, he wrote it
Wow.
on his father's piano at 7 years old. He already had the funk in him.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
That's amazing.
I threw in Prince Rogers in the Trios there because that's actually where Prince got his name. His name was Prince. That was his legal name, but he was named after his father's stage name. His father went by Prince Rogers. But growing up, he had the nickname Skipper. Is that so cute?
It's cute.
My dad goes by Skip as an adult,
Yeah.
so I think
Does
that
he?
Prince being Skipper is amazing. I think
Yeah,
that's
it
awesome.
might have changed his whole deal. Has his name been Skipper?
Yeah,
Rogers.
Purple
Not
Rain
Prince.
by Skipper. I don't
that
know if
the
it would have
same
had
ring?
the same. Yeah, I don't know if he would have
Isn't
had
that
the same.
Betsy's dad?
Yeah. Speaking of people changing their names, Bob Dylan, born Robert Allen Zimmerman. He was born at St. Mary's Hospital in Duluth, Minnesota. And as he began his career as a musician, he chose to start calling himself Bob Dylan. He actually chose the spelling of Dylan after poet Dylan Thomas. He originally was going to do Dillon, but went with Dylan Thomas's name spelling as we see it now. He said of the name change, you can call yourself what you want to call yourself. This is the land of the free. And free he was because throughout his career he went by many pseudonyms, but which of these is not a real pseudonym that Bob Dylan called himself? Okay, so the rest of these are real.
That
3 of
first one
these are
cannot be
real names that Bob Dylan called himself throughout his career. Is it Blind Boy Grunt, Boo Wilbury, Robert Milkwood Thomas, or Bobby Starday?
Now, he was in the Traveling Wilburys. with
Yeah,
Roy
that's
Orbison,
right, yep.
The guy from ELO.
Okay.
Can't remember who else, but that Wilbury kind of fits that.
Yep, you're right.
I'm going to go with that just because of that reason.
Okay.
But no, which is not. So
No,
you think
yeah,
that's a
that
real
one.
one?
think
Yes,
that's a
which
real
is
one.
not.
Should
3 of
be,
these are
yeah.
real. 3 of these are real.
I almost messed that up.
I'm going to go Milkwood.
Robert Milkwood Thomas. I'm going to say Bobby Starday.
Ken, you are correct. Bobby Starday is made up. The rest are real names that Bob Dylan went by
Weird.
at some point in his career. Bob Dylan actually never had a #1 single in his career, but he is still one of the most lauded musicians of all time, especially known for his songwriting. He has won an Academy Award, 10 Grammys, a Golden Globe, and in 2016, the Nobel Prize in Literature. So I don't
right.
think he's hurting for not having any
Right.
#1s.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I know, yeah. Like I said, these are all icons of their chosen field, including Charles Schulz. He is the creator of the Peanuts comic strip, following Charlie Brown and his gang of friends. This is the first ever Charlie Brown comic strip here. But maybe his most iconic character, of course, is Snoopy. Not only is Snoopy everyone's favorite dog, but he is also the namesake of Camp Snoopy, which we all remember was the original theming of the park at MOA. I have many fond memories of Camp Snoopy in my childhood. But Snoopy was not actually in the first comic strip of the Peanuts. How long did it take Charles Schulz to introduce Snoopy into the series? Was it 2 days, 1 week, 3 months, or 1 year? How long do we have to go without Snoopy?
Interesting.
I'm going to say a year. just because you wouldn't think it would be that long. I have no other logic for it.
I will just go with 3 months to choose another
To
answer.
switch it up, I like that, but you're both wrong. It's 2 days.
Oh.
He only waited 2 days, which I am comforted by. I think that the Peanuts are not the same without Snoopy.
Yeah.
We needed him very early.
Very smart.
Yes, he made his first appearance October 4th, 1950. And fun fact, when the Peanuts debuted, it was only in 7 newspapers nationwide, including, of course, the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. But as it continued to rise in popularity, it ended up in 2,600 newspapers
gosh.
worldwide. So, I mean, that is a huge success for a comic strip. And I mean, who doesn't love
Cha-ching.
Snoopy? Snoopy is, I mean, one of the most famous characters of all time. So we love that. But let's talk about the Coen brothers,
Okay.
Joel and Ethan Coen, born and raised in Minnesota and growing up in St. Louis Park. They named their production company Mike Zoss Productions after a Twin Cities drugstore. And they are most known for movies like The Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, and of course Fargo, which is set in Minnesota, and it was mostly filmed near Brainerd, but they chose to call it Fargo because they said the name was cooler. They said, we don't want to call our movie Brainerd, we
That's
want to
fair.
call it Fargo, which I get.
I agree.
Frances McDormand stars in the movie, and she is married to Joel Coen in real life. She won an Oscar for her performance in Fargo, where she played the pregnant detective Marge Gunderson. So she did have to wear a fake pregnancy belly while filming. What was it filled with? What did they fill that pregnancy belly with? Was it sand, water, foam, or bird seed?
Well, if they're outside and it get cold, I'm going against water. I'm gonna go bird seed.
I'm going to say birdseed because it's weird. I think sand would be the obvious answer, but since you put birdseed on there, I'm going with bird.
You guys figured it out. Yes, it is birdseed. I mean, we are the official bird
Yes.
station. So when I read that there was a birdseed reference in Fargo, I said, I'm putting that in the trivia.
And all the
Yes.
little sparrows were following her around.
Exactly. They were
That's
all
right.
just tweeting behind her. But yeah, what a strange
Really
choice. But I
interesting,
mean,
yeah.
that's what you got to do, I guess. Okay, more actresses here. Winona Ryder, Jessica Biel, Amy Adams, and Jessica Lange are all actresses who got their starts in Minnesota. But only 3 of them were actually born in our great state. Who was not born in Minnesota of these 4 actresses?
I don't think Jessica Biel was born here.
Jessica Lange owns being from Minnesota. I know that.
That could be Amy Adams. Too.
I'm going to say Amy Adams.
Yeah, I think you might be right, Ken.
Don't change it because of me.
I'm not.
No clue.
You guys are correct. It is Amy Adams.
I mean, I knew it all
Yes.
along.
Yes, exactly. You guys were confident in that answer, and I like that. Amy was actually born in Italy. Her dad was in the army, and she grew up on she grew up in Colorado, I should say. But she was actually discovered by the late Michael Brindisi. He saw her at a dinner theater in Colorado and brought her to Chanhassen dinner theaters. She spent 3 years performing in Chanhassen productions. Here are her in various different productions, where she actually got her start in the movie business. And she filmed Drop Dead Gorgeous right here, which is one of her first most well-known roles, which is set in the fictional, I should say, Montrose, Minnesota, based off of Montrose and/or Rosemont. Winona Ryder, of course, born in Winona. Jessica Biel, born in Ely,
Born
Minnesota.
in Jessica.
That's right. That's right.
And then there's Jessica Lange, who was born in Cloquet. So yeah, everyone else born and raised here, but Amy did come here and have an illustrious career at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters.
Wow.
I know.
All that stuff. We love it when you're here.
I learned so much.
Thanks,
We learn-
Betsy.
We all
Hey, of
learn
course.
so much. Thank you so much.